Hello, football fans, and welcome back to another James Talks About the NFL. And I do apologize that I have not uploaded anything in a week. It's just that the hard drive on my old computer crashed. So, I have a new one, and I am ready to get back to this. And I'm going to get back to this talking about a very, very interesting topic. And that includes a rookie NFL quarterback. If you've read the title, you know which rookie quarterback I'm going to be talking about. But if you haven't, then I'm going to be talking about Carson Wentz and the success that he has had. Back in April, I thought that Jared Goff, that got drafted by the Los Angeles Rams, was more of a polished quarterback than Carson Wentz, due to the fact that Jared Goff played against teams like USC and Stanford and Oregon and Oregon State, if you want to include them, Utah, and just the powerhouse that is the Pac-12. And Carson Wentz played at North Dakota State. Now, they might be the best FBS team, but then again, they're battling against, or FCS team. Sorry about that. The best FBS team might be Alabama, I don't know. But we're not talking about the FBS. North Dakota State plays in a lower league than the rest of the college football world, so they might be the best team out of that. But my point is that he was playing against talent like that probably won't crack a starting lineup in the NFL because they didn't receive the attention that they should deserve. Yeah, that sentence made sense. They don't receive the attention that they deserve. Yeah. Yeah, these aren't scripted. But anyway, But if my theory does hold up, then the Eagles coaches, Doug Peterson, the head coach, used to be quarterback coach for the Eagles under Andy Reid. And Doug Peterson was the first quarterback to start for Andy Reid in Philadelphia. Thought that was just a good little side note that I'd add there. But yeah, and offensive coordinator Frank Reich. I'm not sure who the quarterback coach is, but hey, the quarterback coach has done a good job too. But yeah, so Carson Wentz played against in week 1 he played against the Browns. I mean, some of you might be like, well, that's expected to play good against the Browns. And against the Bears, that's not too much of an upgrade, as some of you may say, which is what I agree with. But the Bears' defense is not the worst in the world before you Bear fans get aggravated at me. Hold on, guys. I'm going to need a sip of Coke. Sorry about that. I just haven't had anything to drink in a few hours because of school. But anyway, so the talent level of defenses of the Browns and the Bears aren't that good, but they're not terrible to the point where maybe I could dissect them because I know a lot about football, but maybe not. I'm pretty sure an NFL quarterback could, but they've shut down people. Both of them respectively. The Browns, heck, even the Browns had a good outing against the Dolphins yesterday. Against Ryan Tannehill, and they made him throw 2 or 3 picks. But anyway, so Carson Wentz faced a really, really good defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Some of you might be like, oh, you're glorifying them. They were better in the 70s. Well, of course they were better in the 70s. I mean, how could you get any better? I mean, with today's free agency and all that, I mean, you can't get too much better. I mean, that's just. It's just hard to get bet. It's just really hard to improve on the Steel Curtain. Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, Mel Blount, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. But yeah, the Steelers' defense is still good. I don't think it's as good now as it was under Dick LeBeau, the previous defensive coordinator who resigned from his position following the 2014 season, as they are under the new coordinator hired a couple of years ago in Keith Butler to replace LeBeau. But Keith Butler's not a bad defensive coordinator. No, don't think I'm trying to say that. But I think Carson Wentz is the real deal. Excuse me. So I do think that Carson Wentz is the real deal. I think that he will probably win Rookie of the Year, unless the very unfortunate thing occurs, and that is if he gets hurt, which, just as I said, will be unfortunate. But Dak Prescott was looking pretty good last night, and I was thinking, maybe I should talk about him in Dallas. But then I was like, no, Carson Wentz is doing better in Philadelphia. Especially for the lack of receiver depth that he has in Philadelphia. I mean, Dak Prescott has arguably the best receiver in Dez Bryant, and he has Jason Witten at his disposal as well. And he has Ezekiel Elliott to hand off to out of the backfield. Now you might say that Eagles defense is better than that Eagles defense is better than the Dallas defense. But I don't think when you're talking about a certain player, I don't think defense really matters. I think if you were to be like, well, Carson Wentz is better because he's won more playoff games than Dak Prescott during his career, then you could say, oh, well, the defense is this, the defense that, this defense this defense that, and stuff like that. But I truly believe that as of week 3, as of getting out of week 3, that Carson Wentz is better. I mean, Carson Wentz has Jordan Matthews to work with. He has Dorial Green-Beckham to work with, who is a drop machine. I'm sorry, Dorial Green-Beckham, but the one thing you really need to improve on in your game is just catching the ball. You need to work with catching the ball. I mean, you could blossom into someone like a Dez Bryant that Dak Prescott has. Similar size, similar strength, but I can't tell who's stronger. I think Dez is, but don't quote me on that. But, yeah, I just hope that Carson Wentz doesn't regress like Michael Vick, or excuse me, like Nick Foles from 2013 to 2014. Well, he wasn't as good in 2014, but still, as 13, and he was still good, but still. Nick Foles' career kind of just died in St. Louis in 2015, which is unfortunate. Because Doug Peterson was the quarterback coach when Foles was drafted in 2012 by Andy Reid. So I'm pretty sure he would have no problems with the offense there. Especially if you can run a Chip Kelly offense, I'm pretty sure that you can run a basic, well, not necessarily a basic offense in, Andy Reid's offense. Don't get upset at me, Andy Reid. Your offense is not basic. It's just simpler than Chip Kelly's offense. Chip Kelly's offense would kind of be like a rocket scientist taking over as an offensive coordinator / head coach, and/or head coach, with offensive knowledge to boot. Not that the offensive coordinator / head coaches are stupid, but I mean, they might be rocket scientists in terms of their intelligence toward offense, especially offensive-oriented head coaches. But the thing is that a rocket scientist can bring new views and stuff to the game of football because you see it from a dynamic of a totally different thing than just a pigskin and whatever a football is made of. It's technically not made out of pigskin. Throw the leather. It's made out of leather, okay? But yeah. So, I would just like to say that Brian Billick was right in the get-go about Carson Wentz being great. And I thought that Jared Goff would do good, would adapt better to the NFL. But with that being said, I didn't think Carson Wentz would just stink it up and would suck in the NFL. But Jared Goff hasn't had an opportunity to prove himself. Maybe he's the next Peyton Manning, I don't know. But freaking Case Keenum is starting for the Rams instead. Oy vey. Oh gosh. But yes, guys, I do believe that will do it for this James Talks About the NFL. Once again, I am sorry that I was gone. It's just that the hard drive in my old computer crashed on Tuesday, so I wasn't able to post anything last Wednesday or last Saturday. But yeah, I will see you all later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching, and go Panthers.